Change is scary for everybody. Change can be really scary as a business owner. You have a lot of decisions to make, you have things to launch. So waiting won't help you. We want to talk about that today in Business Unvarnished, real talk about what it takes to make a business work. I'm Stephanie Ward of fireflycoaching.com.
And I'm Emmy McCarthy of emmymccarthy.com.
So why are we all waiting and afraid of change when we know it's not helping us?
Because change is scary, Stephanie.
Scary.
Scary.
It is scary.
Yeah, because it's a step into the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. It's super easy to stay where you are because you know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
You've done it before. You know what's going to happen next. And it feels comfortable.
Comfortable.
It's comfortable, uncomfortable.
The C word. Yes. Right. It leads to doom. So what are some examples of this? I have a personal one that actually Emmy knows all about. I feel like I waited way too long to change email service providers. And
oh, yeah.
I mean, it gave me so much grief and pain and torment. I won't go into all the hairy details, but the unvarnished.
I haven't heard of the provider you were using. When you told me what you were using, I was what?
Right, and that's because I started in 2002.
It wasn't even MailChimp, people. It was
no. We're not going to say their name, but I started in 2002, so this was really a great option back then. In any case, it had been not good for me for a long time, and I'd been complaining about it. That's also not fun in their business. I was scared. What would happen with, tech things. I'm good to such a point, and then I'm like frightened to death. And so it was a big step for me. It takes time, it takes money, it takes energy, and I am so glad I did it. So Emmy
so tell us a bit more about that. So what was it that you thought would happen? What was the fear? What did you think would happen? What was the bad thing that was stopping you from moving?
I think it was the time. So I had to set aside time. I don't like technical stuff. I thought my data might disappear. I didn't know, with the transfer, am I going to lose people? All these things that were just ridiculous because it was so much better in so many ways to make the change. It costs less time. I can serve my people better by having this new system. So it's just, I think the key for me was to have someone like Emmy who could help me. So if you can find someone who knows more than you do that can assure you it's all going to be okay.
Yes.
And that's connected to get
on that learning curve. We don't need to do this alone, people.
Yes.
Keep trying.
Oh, so important. So the learning curve, but not doing it alone and knowing there are people that will help you. So get support when you need it. So
absolutely. So did any of the things that you were frightened about, did any of them come true?
No, I mean, it wasn't fun. I'll just be honest, because this is Business Unvarnished. I didn't enjoy it, but I'm never going to enjoy some kind of technical transfer. Also, when I had to transfer my hosting, which I did as well, not fun. There were some problems. It worked. It's fine. No, nothing happened. Nothing bad happened, and only good things happened. No,
and
never does.
Good things have come out of it.
Right.
But it is scary to make change. I know it is
scary.
I know it. There are things that I'm scared of too. Not tech things. Tech things like, I'll walk in the park. It's either going to work or it's not, and somebody more clever than me will sort it out if I can't.
I love that.
But there are definitely things.
What have you been afraid of changing, or?
You know what? Business models.
Business models. Ooh.
Changing business models scares me because the world's moving so fast these days, and clients and customers, they're so much more aware now than they ever have been before. And that means that you are held to higher standards, which you should be. I'm not scared of high standards. Hold me to the highest standards. I hold myself to standards higher than any client's ever going to.
I know you do. I know you do.
But it is scary. It's scary to take something that's been working and say, no, I need to flip it. This model needs to change. We need to evolve it. It needs to not be what it has been. And that's scary because you don't know if it's going to work.
No, and it's a really good point, because you don't know if anything is going to work, actually. You don't know if anything is going to work. And continuing to do the same thing we know doesn't work, because we know the only constant is change.
Yeah.
So
with the Maya Angelou quote, I did what I did. When I knew better, I did better.
Right. Wow. I love that one. That's so powerful. And that's a great point too, about the unvarnished truth is, please, you guys, don't have regrets and don't beat yourself up. You can't know what you know until you know it, and you can't make the change until you make it. And we're just trying to help you make that decision sooner than later, knowing that it really is in the best interest of you and your business.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also there are very few occasions when I would consider myself the expert, which is probably not a popular viewpoint.
I don't agree. I think you're an expert, but anyway, go ahead.
I consider myself a learner.
Well,
I
me
much
too.
rather be an explorer. You know, I want to be
love that word.
With a big fat knife chopping away at the jungle. Not the real one, because I do not camp. I need 3 stars.
I want to see that.
And free Wi-Fi in any place I'm staying. So camping is out. Metaphorically, right. I like to be slashing away at the jungle and discovering new things. And I'm not afraid of early adoption or any of those things. But expertise, that's not really where I'm comfortable.
Well, and you don't have to necessarily own that to be willing to make the change, right? You can step into something to experiment, like you said, as an explorer, and try it out. And sometimes the only way to discover if it works is to try it.
And I think that makes it so much easier if you think of it as a giant experiment rather than the be-all and end-all. There are very few things, unless you are a thoracic heart surgeon or you're into brain surgery or you're in charge of a nuclear reactor. There are very few things that we can do in our normal everyday online businesses that are going to be catastrophic to the rest of the world.
Great point. We're not going to kill anyone with our, with our new ebook or with...
It might not work the way that we wanted to. We might not be disappointed, but we're not going to die from it.
No. And again, like you said, I mean, it's one way to find out is to do it, but it could also be you'll figure out a better way by trying it. So you try that, and then you discover with feedback that it should go that way. And so that's the only way you're going to get there, is to, as Seth Godin says, ship it and find out, launch it.
And we have a mutual friend, Colleen Gask, who runs Stuff Dutch People Like.
Love her.
She set her challenge to do something scary every day.
I like it.
Yeah. And I think that's a great goal, not one that I've achieved yet. But even for non-business things, I used to be absolutely terrified of flying. I had a bad flight back from Athens in my early 20s, and I didn't like it. After that, I didn't really care about flying beforehand, but after that, I really didn't like it, and I would do whatever I could to avoid it.
Scary.
But I didn't want to be that person who was afraid of everything and who would let that limit her. I hate letting my fear limit me.
Right. Well, I was just going to say, besides being that person, then that means you can't fly to Luxembourg and be on a panel at a business conference, right?
Exactly. And I was not going to be that person. And so I made myself get on flights, and actually wound up for 4 years doing weekly flights, commuting from Amsterdam to London.
Wow. And
I didn't like it. And sometimes I'd come off the flights if it was a bad flight. And bad is my version of bad. God bless the pilots who kept me in the air. And the stewardesses who just kept passing me cocktail napkins.
Jen.
Because the bad is relative, but I didn't like it. Even everyone tells me that it's just air and you're bumping around. Turbulence is not my friend. And I would come off some of those flights absolutely sobbing because I just was completely terrified. But I would not let it define me. I would not let it stop me from doing the things that I needed to do. So
if you try something, you try to make a change, a scary change, something you've been putting off, and it doesn't work, which some things will not work, and that's totally normal, you just can still go on. You can still go on. You change it up. It's a giant experiment. You have a finite amount of time on the world, What a terrible shame if we just sat there waiting for things to happen to us instead of going out there and creating experiences and opportunities. Absolutely. So, folks, the unvarnished truth is waiting doesn't help you. Change is scary. It's scary for all of us. And doing it is the way through it. And it's an experiment. So just make it fun and then learn from I don't even like the word failure or mistakes. Things that don't work, learn from them and change it and go a different direction. Yeah, they're lessons. They're absolute lessons. They might not feel very good. No. You may need a pint of ice cream to get over them. Or gin or something like that. But yeah. Keyword Jen.
Jen, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you will survive them, and you will come out better on the other side, because then you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Then
knowledge
you
is
know. And not doing anything doesn't move you forward. So it's take that action, do that thing. Maybe that's a good thing to share in the comments. So whatever that thing is.
Yeah. What's your scary thing? What's the thing that you've been resisting doing?
And then do it. Put it down there in the comments and say you're going to do it, and we'll support you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so this has been the Unvarnished Truth. And I'm Emmy McCarthy, emmymccarthy.com. And when you head over to visit my website, which I strongly encourage you to do, I want you to hit the sign up button on Notes for the Curious, which is my hand-curated newsletter, comes out every 2 weeks, which contains all sorts of articles and tips and systems and tools and all the things that you need to run a business and a life that you love.
It does. And if you want to know more about what I'm up to, go to fireflycoaching.com and get a copy of my free special report, 7 Steps to Attract More Clients in Less Time. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.